Remember, stretch before drives, or before sitting. Stretch before sitting. Welcome to another episode of Curious Car Callers. We are here with Jacob and Izzy, and their awesome lifted Impreza. So, tell us a little bit about your Impreza.
Well, my Impreza is the sport trim. It's 2012, and I lifted it with Forester struts. And I've also put in 1.5-inch spacers in the rear to lift up the body from the subframe in order to fix the geometry a bit.
Okay. How thick are those spacers, really?
They're just like a chunk of cylinder steel, about like that, and then the Anderson Design and Fabrication provided us with a OEM Subaru bolt that's actually longer, that would fit through to the through the subframe, through the spacer, and bolt into the chassis of the car.
And so, how did you get your car? You got your car from your mother, correct?
Yes, my mother bought me this car. It was supposed to be a 16th birthday present. I guess she was insistent on buying me a new car. She thought it would be safest. But I was never really grateful for it at all until, I sort of fell in love with cars and driving and realized that it was pretty cool and that I wanted to make them even cooler.
Alright, so how did you get into cars?
It's a funny story. I never used to like cars, actually. It was kind of a hassle for my mom to get me to learn how to drive and get my license. But just at some point, I just started feeling like I had no control at all in my life anymore. But I realized that, when I sit in my car, I actually have control. And just, I don't know, I guess with this past election, that was kind of the breaking point, and I was like, you know what, I don't care if I'm using up a lot of gas, I just want to drive, and drive, and drive, because it made me feel, more relaxed, and it helped me with my anxiety. Yep. And then eventually I just thought, if I'm going to drive this much and like cars so much, I should probably also work on them. So, that's where my boyfriend helps me out a lot. He's teaching me.
I've done a lot of cars, and I'm helping to show her as much as she can. In fact, she's one legged up on me. She's working at a place that does preventative maintenance.
There you go. That's a perfect place to start.
Yep.
Okay, so I got interested in cars from the start. I had a 1995 Ford Explorer. In fact, I still have it. It's a two-door with a 5-speed manual and a V6. But that was my first car, and it's actually followed me in history with my family too. But I just enjoyed doing general maintenance at first on it. I helped my uncle replace the clutch in it, and I started driving earlier than 16, just on the property. Mm-hmm. But the clutch went out on it, and I helped my uncle replace it. And then just over time, those 5-speed manuals aren't the best, and so I've actually blown out 2 of those transmissions. It's bad. But that's what got me started. And then afterwards, I had an '88 Civic, and I still have that too. I hold on to my cars a lot. But the timing belt snapped on it, and thankfully it was a non-interference engine. But I did what's called a mini-me swap, which is swapping over a VTEC cylinder head onto its original block, and that's what really started getting me diving into the vehicles a lot more. I did a full suspension upgrade in it. It's still stock height. I planned on actually lifting it and making it into my first rally car.
That'd be awesome.
So that's, but those two vehicles right there are what really started getting me into wanting to modify and work on cars.
Now, how did this go when you were driving it out on these trails before the lift?
It went okay, I guess. Except when I bit off more than I could chew by accident. You could see that rocker panel's pretty crunched.
Oops.
Yeah, sometimes you get put in bad situations and have to do just the least bad thing.
How much of a lift did these really give it? What, 3 inches?
The Forster suspension is anywhere between 2 and 2.5, and then with the rear subframe, it was probably more like 1/2 inch for the rear. The tires are 2 inches bigger about than OEM stock, so it gave us about another inch there. So we're probably anywhere 3 to 3.5 inches.
I mean, just from what I saw it do today, I mean, there was nothing we found that it couldn't do, which was pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And even with having the sway bars attached and everything, it felt perfectly comfortable.
Yep.
I mean, I've rode with some other people off-roading, but that was like off-roading in luxury. It was pretty comfy.
It's nice, and it turns heads.
Yeah. No, yeah. We got a few weird looks. What's a Subaru doing out here? So, what are you guys' next plans and future plans with the, what's the nickname for it?
Mamoru.
Mamoru? That's awesome.
Thanks.
Currently we have, I have actually wired in about 200 feet of extra power cable to do 360-degree light bars that'll be run through a wireless remote system. And it'll provide us search and rescue ability if we wish, or just to be able to see through out the trails and whatnot.
Yeah, when it's darker and everything.
Exactly.
What else, besides the lighting and everything, what else are you planning on doing? Anything with the motor?
Motor, we're just going to leave stock, actually, I think. We're just going to leave the motor and trans as they are. Just do regular maintenance.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, really, you don't need to be going any faster than what it's capable of out here.
And
Yeah.
even though it's a CVT, it's got plenty of torque. It's able to change the gearing on its own
Yeah.
to the application.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
this has the CVT in it.
Yep.
Okay, yeah. Which I think is, if somebody went and designed one for off-roading, I think it would be like one of the best things ever.
Yep.
Go as low as you want.
Yep.
Absolutely. We plan to get a snorkel for him. We're probably going to have to custom make that because, we've
Either-
been looking around. Nobody's made snorkels for an Impreza.
Or just any Subaru in general.
Yeah. And I mean, I think, like you said before, I don't think anybody has really done this with at least the 2012 body style.
Yeah, we did a lot of searching on the forums, and not many people did it. What we did was actually just an old school trick with the older Imprezas, and we didn't know if it'd work or not.
And it just happened to work.
It did.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's what, we got lucky. And so we just want to keep going from there, see what else we can do to it. And like she said, either we're going to custom make a snorkel or we're going to grab one from another rig, take a heat gun and heat it up and actually remold it to fit as best as we
Yeah.
can.
much this is your first car, correct?
Yeah.
So this is your entire history in the car community in one spot.
It is.
That's awesome. Thank you for watching this episode of Curious Car Callers featuring Jacob and Izzy and her lifted Impreza. That thing out on the trails was about as much fun as it looks. If you or someone you know is interested in doing a video with us, please contact us at the link below. And as always, please like, comment, and subscribe. Share this video anywhere and everywhere, please. And of course, stay revved, folks.